Hello, everyone. Welcome to another wonderful week of learning at Madison Elementary School. These announcements and shout outs are for the week of May 4th, 2021. This week, we kick off our fundraising efforts to raise money for more effective treatments for cancer. And we're celebrating our first day of the fundraiser with a Crazy Hat Day. So this is why I'm wearing a hat. I hope that you all are participating as well. So it's Crazy Hat, Crazy Hair Day. So I look forward to seeing some crazy hats and hair all throughout today. And then we will end our fundraising efforts by having a superhero day. And that is going to be on May 14th. I just had to check the calendar. Also, this week, the first week in May, is Staff Appreciation Week. So students, please tell your teachers how much you appreciate them. Please tell the teaching assistants and other staff in the building that you appreciate the work that they do, that you enjoy coming to school because they enjoy having you in class. So you can just say thank you. You can give them an elbow bump. However you can express your appreciation for teachers this week will be super fantastic for all of our staff. So thank you for that. And I'm going to go right ahead and get to our shout outs. Oops, I think first I better do our Stango challenge. I need to pull some classrooms that have met their individual classroom goals this week. And if I pull your class name, there will be a little special treat for you at the end of the week from me. So I am going in and I'm pulling and I'm grabbing. Let's see what we're going to get. And first up, who do we have here? Oh, Miss Howard's class. Congratulations to Miss Howard's class for being the first class for this week to get a Stango recognition. Let's see, I'm going again, going in. There's so many of them. You guys are doing a wonderful job. Next up, we have Miss Yoder, first grade friends in Miss Yoder's class. Nice job, congratulations. Let's get another one. Let's get another one. We have so many. Let's get another one. One. Oh, Miss Bettis. So we recognized Miss Bettis's group last week, so I'm going to put her off to the side and I'm going to give them an extra special shout out sometime this week, but I would like to pull another class so that I can get another group in here to recognize. Let's see who we got. Let's see who we got. Nice job, Miss Bettis's friends. Mr. Hyatt. So our fifth grade friends in Mr. Hyatt's class, congratulations and nice job. So I've pulled Mr. Hyatt, I've pulled Miss Bettis's class, and I've pulled Miss Yoder, and also Miss Howard. So nice job to you all. I look forward to pulling more Stangos next week. Your teachers will be completing Stango cards and putting them in the office as you all meet your goals throughout the week. So nice job. Let's go ahead and get to our shout outs. Yeah. All right, starting out with our friends in SK, to Miss Shortino's class for the quietest, straightest, best line I've ever seen moving through the halls from Miss Castor. To Braden Mickey, looking out for others, you are always such a sweet friend to all, from Miss Shortino. To Natty Stadola, always trying her best during learning, both in school and at home, from Miss Shortino. To Blake Peterson, Blake, thank you for helping the teacher without even being asked to. You were even okay with being late to recess. Way to be helpful, from Miss Shortino. To Alana, for helping your math partner instead of just giving an answer. You were very kind and patient, from Miss Shortino. To Louis Rieger, being a first-time listener, from Mrs. McCoy. Nice job to our friends in SK, and moving on to our friends in Miss Yoder's class, first grade. To Shar works hard during independent work time, from Mrs. Yoder. To Judah Zovar, Judah is working hard on reading, from Mrs. Yoder. To Carson Croson, Carson is a hard worker, from Mrs. Yoder. To Peyton Hicks, working hard every day during math class, from Mrs. Blocker. To Charlotte Hang, focus, cooperation, and work during math class from Mrs. Blocker. To Ben Gaschow, for working hard during math and helping your math partner to understand the equations. Great job, Ben, from Mrs. Heineke. To Jake Dickman, having great transitions and being so kind to his peers and teachers from Mrs. Sennett. To Madison Springer, being so kind to others and always having a positive attitude from Mrs. Sennett. And now to our friends in second grade, to Natalia Hanstadt, always helpful in the cafe with the peers special chair from Mrs. Matern. To Jackson Fernandez, working hard at staying focused during writing from Mrs. Matern. To Charlotte Edie, staying on task during writing time from Mrs. Matern. To Naomi Tesfaye, got started right away, even with a late arrival from Mrs. Matern. To Olivia Tesfaye, showing independence at writing time from Mrs. Matern. To Kendall Welch, working very hard to stay with writing when tempted by buddies nearby from Mrs. Matern. To Micaiah Threet, saying focus on writing and showing you care about your work from Mrs. Matern. To Scarlett Swellinger, saying focused on writing from Mrs. Matern. To Walter Rieger, doing your best to stay on task during writing time from Mrs. Matern. To Logan Punksat, doing your best to stay on writing with close buddies nearby from Mrs. Matern. To Vivian Mattis, for turning the focus back on writing when it was time from Mrs. Matern. To Hervé Koskinen, way to stay focused during writing time, even when the best buddies were near from Mrs. Matern. From Peyton Konachek, staying on topic during writing time from Mrs. Matern. To Elizabeth Kappelmeyer, finding a writing space that kept you focused from Mrs. Matern. To Landon Jacks, for staying on task during writing, even though sitting with a close buddy can be hard from Mrs. Matern. To Rylea Harvey, for being a rock star at writing time from Mrs. Matern. To Kenil Diaz, working very hard at writing in class for Mrs. Matern. To Lincoln Dunbar, stayed focused on writing the entire writing period from Mrs. Matern. To Aaliyah Williams, showing your pride in your writing from Mrs. Matern. To Juliana Searless, showing determination to complete a great writing piece from Mrs. Matern. And Juliana has another, for always following expectations, thinking deeply during reading and math, and always being willing to share what she's learned with the class from Mrs. Hoffman. To Emery Kong, and Emery has two. First, for showing determination to finish your writing piece from Mrs. Matern, and for being a leader, being responsible and prepared, and being an enthusiastic learner from Mrs. Hoffman. To Tristan Hicks, Tristan has 3 shout outs. The first one is from Mrs. Castor for full participation during music class, for using great strategies during math class, that's from Mrs. Blocker, and for staying focused during writing time in class from Mrs. Matern. And now we're on to our third grade friends. So nice job to second grade. You guys really focused in on that writing time. So nice job. To our friends in third grade, starting with Evan Hang, being kind and respectful to others, being a leader during transitions from Mrs. Sennett. To Orion Austini, for being kind and respectful to others, showing leadership qualities during transitions from Mrs. Sennett. To Bryn Wagner, for always showing leadership qualities during transitions, being kind and pushing herself at Girls on the Run from Mrs. Sennett. To Lincoln Costello, for taking responsibility to clean all the lunch tables when no one else volunteered. Great job, Lincoln, from Mrs. Heineke. To Braylon, for keeping his mask on all day from Mrs. Smith. To Katya, being so positive this week from Mrs. Smith. To Gloria for sharing her math thinking and addition strategies from Mrs. Smith. And moving on to fourth grade, we have Skylar for being kind and respectful to others, following expectations and working hard from Mrs. Sennett. To Brielle Jex for being a leader in class, following expectations and being kind to everyone around her from Mrs. Sennett. To Kaden Miller for being a great participant at I Can't Wait for Wednesdays from Mrs. Matern. To Anakin for showing your work on your math quiz from Mr. Sulfur. To Niara Baylor for rocking multiplications and division from Mr. Sulfur. To Edison Her, double checking your work. Nice job from Mr. Sulfur. To Naya Milan for pushing herself in reading and working well with her group from Ms. Howard. So that's a third grade friend. So I have a few third grade friends coming up in here. To Mariah Sparks for doing a great job to make her publish poetry the best it can be, just in time from Ms. Howard. And then our last third grade friend, to Modesty Jamerson for working hard in her research group from Ms. Howard. And now we're off to our fifth grade friends. To Bella Ross, demonstrating strong effort, focus, and listening each and every day from Mr. Hours. To Kingston Rowe for helping out and organizing materials without being asked from Mr. Hours. To Natalie Her, quietly transitioning and she works hard each day in class from Mr. Hours. And to Pierce Handridge, his constant participation and clearly explaining answers to challenging concepts from Mr. Hours. To Markel Fletcher for his consistent effort and strong participation during math class from Mr. Hours. To Naya Miles, helping to keep our classroom clean, neat, and organized without being asked from Mr. Hours. To Francis Anderer for being the first student to turn in their science project from Mr. Hyatt. To Tyreek Tucker for working hard during math class from Mr. Hyatt. To Naomi Yang for coming to school with a sprained ankle for Mr. Hyatt. To Ryoji Swain, doing a great job on his science project. To Brianna, working well with Ms. K during math without an attitude for Ms. Castor. And to Madeline Hang for being kind to her classmates for Mr. Hyatt. To Estelle Baldwin, Kiara Hoverson, and to Savannah Sherry, creating a theme board in our classroom for Mr. Hyatt. To Murphy Jamerson for working hard in math class for Mr. Hyatt. And to Vincent Mascotti for being a very engaged student during virtual learning for Mr. Hyatt. Nice job to all of our Madison friends. I'm telling you, this has to be the most shout outs I have read in 1 week. Shout outs to your second grade friends staying focused during writing time. Nice job to all of our other students. I hope that all of you have a wonderful and great week. I look forward to seeing you in the hallways and in class. Please do the right thing and follow the directions of all staff in the building. Have a good one.